I wonder what I want to play today. Batman Arkham Asylum? Why, of course! That game has plenty of scary things in it, and not really being a huge Batman fan myself, I'll be able to do this review completely unbiased.
Okay, you got me. I really am a super huge Batman fan, and I always have been. Batman was like the second word I ever said. But honestly, Batman Arkham Asylum is absolutely worth talking about on this channel. Batman himself has kind of walked a thin line between horror and superhero comic for a while. Even in the 70s, it became almost exclusively monsters and the supernatural. That's the era that Ra's al Ghul came out of. Don't believe me? Well, let's take a look. Trust me, there is plenty scary in this game. You just have to know where to look. And it's everywhere.
I love this game. I love this game. I love this game so much. Interestingly, the game begins after one of Batman's adventures, having already captured the infamous Joker, and on his way to deliver him back to the local mental institution, Arkham Asylum. Immediately, the Halloweeny atmosphere sets in, and while the design is undeniably the look of a great Batman story, there's something much more to its look. Walking a line between realism and exaggeration, it nails a look and atmosphere that you rarely get out of the typical licensed video game. We bring him to the front door, let him get strapped into his Hannibal Lecter stretcher, and are greeted with one of my favorite introductory sequences in any video game. Pacing is something modern video games seem to have a lot of trouble with these days, desperately trying to get to the action as fast as possible out of a fear of losing the player. But Arkham Asylum has confidence, and it trusts the player enough to allow itself to build tension. And remember that phrase, because building tension is one of the key elements of this game. As the Batman, we make double sure that the Joker gets to where he's going, and are enveloped in the game's atmosphere from the word go, as it introduces us to its world, and most of the game's players. These are faces we will come to know over the course of the game, but for now, they just blend into the background. It's amazing just how real all of this makes the world feel. Even a world as ridiculously and inherently unbelievable as the world of Batman. It's brilliantly paced, and the writing settles you into the cowl well. You are in control here, as are all the guards and security systems of Arkham Asylum. This is just another night as the Batman, after all. But the Joker has other plans. Despite Batman's caution, the Clown Prince of Crime escapes, and control begins to slip through your fingers like sand.
Welcome to the madhouse, Batman! I set a trap, and you sprang it gloriously! Where that madman...
Bodies immediately begin to mount, and the cell doors are flung open as the patients take over the madhouse. This sudden shift in control is panic-inducing after such a slow and deliberately paced opening, and this marks the beginning of a very long night. As we fight our way back out into the open, we're introduced to one of the game's most interesting characters, the Asylum itself. Asylums have been overdone to death in horror media. Movies, books, comics, TV shows, they're just about everywhere. From mad scientists to religious sadism, being into horror means that you've traipsed the hallways of at least a dozen or more mental institutions. They all sort of look the same. They all have the same sorts of vibes. Even the best ones, like Mount Massive Asylum from Outlast, falls victim to this sort of generic design to its world. But not Arkham, which brims with color, detail, and a lived-in atmosphere that makes the world of Arkham Island more alive than almost anything else I've ever seen in a video game. The level of design that went into every single aspect of this place is incredible. The world is the home to some of the most twisted versions of Batman's famous rogues gallery. A rogues gallery that is without order and without discipline. The road to re-establishing control is peppered with these villains, and with each step we take, more and more of these villains gain control of a part of the island. Every time we seem to make a step forward, one of the bad guys steps in our way. Again, it's this incredible pacing that drives us forward and keeps the tension high. We're constantly being shown what is coming our way, and a mounting fear of who or what we'll have to fight next on the road to regaining control of the asylum. This is never more apparent than the game's interpretation of Jonathan Crane, or as he's better known, the Scarecrow. His sections of the game appear almost out of nowhere, and are one of the things everyone remembers about it. Like everything else, the first encounter with him is brimming with an immersive tension that leaves you dreading what is to come.
Got a few more surprises in store for you. Prepare to face your fears. All of them!
This first sequence is brilliantly designed to scare the player as a viewer, showcasing creepy and frightening imagery straight out of a horror film. The camera tilting as Batman begins to succumb to the fear toxin, and the world around him becoming possessed with the effects of Scarecrow's wicked grip. We're treated to one of the Batman's crippling fears for but a moment, before being thrust into a full-on nightmare. Scarecrow's playground, where just being spotted by him will mean an instant demise. It's a psychological trip that twists Batman's own doubts in on themselves, and you're literally battling to save his mind from the brink of madness. After winning this battle, you'll find that it is only a brief victory over the power of Crane's chemicals. And a few hours later, we find ourselves back in his grip. This time, the game brings Batman's anxieties and fears closer to home, and the player is subjected to being afraid as the Batman this time. Batman's mental walls are starting to break down, and really bringing the player to the edge as well. And the developers know it, and the final encounter with the Master of Fear is the one everyone remembers. Without any fanfare or warning like the God, I love this. We're brought back into a new version of the beginning of the game as Batman is forced to confront his worst nightmare. That maybe he's just as insane as the monsters he tries to protect Gotham from. And even worse, the thought of losing against them. It's a brilliant sequence that manages to pull a double punch on us with an unavoidable game over screen. Batman fights with everything he has, and through the most difficult and long nightmare sequence, we finally defeat Scarecrow's fear toxin and break free of his tormented world. It's the absolute highlight of the game, and it's worth going through the game just for these few moments. This game knows exactly how much to do with these. It never overstays its welcome, and it's peppered through the game at a perfect pace. If Scarecrow wasn't one of your favorite villains before, he will be after a run-through of Arkham Asylum. But that isn't the end of it. Oh no. There's one more thing that I absolutely love about this game, and it's always put me way more on edge than anything else in an already chilling experience. You may not agree with me, and you may not have even experienced what I am about to talk about because it's completely optional, and the game never directs you to these little encounters. I am of course talking about the Visitors Center. Enter the building, you'll be greeted with one of the most Silent Hill-esque elements in the entire game. Batman has a story. It's a careful balance between lawful good and chaotic evil. Batman and Joker are two sides of the same mirror, both outcomes of similar circumstances, and it's their own psyches that have brought them to where they are now. what better way to confront this than with a chat with the clown prince of crime himself? There aren't many of these chats, and Joker won't have anything new to say until after you've completed a new section of the game, although visiting even if you haven't done anything is creepy all on its own. But honestly, these introspective talks with Joker, if you can really call them talks, Batman's thoughts are left up to the player. And again, not to keep using this word, but another ingenious use of game design informing the storytelling, we are the Batman in this experience, and we are left to feel as he feels during these quiet moments with the Joker. It's because of all this and more that Batman Arkham Asylum is one of my favorite non-horror horror games of all time.
You again? You're early. Sit down. I suppose I can squeeze you in. I've been comparing notes with Dr. Crane. He seems a little worried about your progress. According to his notes, you should have come over to our side by now. What is it that keeps you going? Doesn't it ever get boring?
Now, its sequels did start to lose the horror element as they went on. Arkham City, Arkham Origins, and finally Arkham Knight, the horror element waned and waned and waned, and it's almost basically gone in the newest entries. But Arkham Asylum is something special. Trust me, you can get the game for almost nothing now used. Even new, it's like $20 max. So go on out and give it a shot. And until then, and with that, thanks for watching. I don't have an ending for this video.